Hi. So I want to tell you about a dream that I had recently. The recall has been spreading back up into my life, which has been lovely. And I think that that's been happening as a result of putting so much attention on my dreams lately. I've been sifting through an old dream blog and reading old dreams that I had, and I think that's really activating the recall switch. So if there's something you can try if you're looking to reconnect with your dreams. So the dream that I had, it was it's a little fragment. It's not the full story. I don't know if anyone really knows that they've got the full story in a dream, but it's definitely a small fragment of a much larger saga that took place, and I don't recall a lot of it, but the fragment itself is really important, so I'm going to share that. So the beginning of my recall starts, I'm standing on the edge of a man-made canal. And it's about 3 stories deep. So I'm on the edge and it goes down, it's pretty narrow. And at the bottom, there's about a couple of meters of water, and so it's not really full, or even close to overfilling. And at the top, there are, along the canal that I'm sitting on the edge of, are some people that are like in clusters. Looks like they're working on maintaining the canal or something like that. I'm not really paying attention to them too much at this point. I'm actually a little distracted by the view that I have. I'm sitting there and I'm looking in the distance and I'm seeing mountains and beautiful lush green forest, and it's all kind of like staggering into the distance and rising up, and the trees are kind of staggering up the side of the mountain, and the mountain has this really tall, skinny white castle on the top of it, and it's like glistening and reflecting sunlight, and it looks like a diamond. And there are these like little clusters of castle sprouting out of the mountain as well, just at the base of it, and going and sort of blending into the trees. And the castle's about 8 stories tall, and a few peaks like on either side, and then one really tall skinny peak in the center, and a balcony in the very front, which feels like the Queen's room. And I'm able to sort of access a story there, so touching on that like vision, I'm looking into that window and I feel that there's a queen in there, and I'm aware that the whole town is aware of the fact that the queen has recently lost her baby. Not that the baby has died, but literally she just lost it. Maybe the baby was abducted, who knows? I don't know that part of the story. But she's devastated, and she's acting pretty irrationally and making some reckless decisions, and she's just really sad. And I think a lot of people were condemned to death as a result of her sadness, and people who were in the prison cells at the basement, in the basement of this castle, were just like killed because she just didn't know what to do with that energy. And it's funny, I recently just accessed that information when I was reflecting on it. I just sort of like examined what the rest of the castle had to share, and I found more information, which was pretty cool. So outside of the castle, my awareness comes back to the people on the edge of the canal, and I see that a small group of them, maybe about 3 people, are gathered around this basket, this like woven basket stuffed with blankets, and they're placing a baby on top of the blankets. And there are ropes that they've tied around the edges of the basket, and they are now lifting the baby up by those ropes. And so they take the basket with the baby in it and they place it over top of the canal, and then they start lowering it down into the canal. And there's an understanding here that that this is for the good of the queen, and some voice kind of narrates over top of it that says, "We must remind her of the intrinsic goodness of others." And is just this chipper little sort of elven creature who's just insisting that we do everything we can to help her, but that everyone must work together in teaching her this lesson, whatever that lesson is. So the baby's being lowered into the canal, and now it's on the water floating, and then there are these like several people on the tops of the dam. There's well, this like dam-like structure that they're wheeling these wooden wheels, and this motion is allowing this door to slowly come up, and there are several people doing this, like doors coming up, doors coming up, doors coming up, and you know, just enough for the baby to fit through, and then that just the water pulls through, and then the baby goes with it, and off it goes towards the castle. And then there's just this understanding that along the way, this baby's going to encounter many characters who are going to want to try and help, you know, fish the basket out of the water, seeing that this is a pretty dire situation. Some are actually going to get into that canal and, like, you know, put their own lives at risk to help this baby. All of this is going to be part of it, and it's all necessary, and part of this baby's journey, part of the Queen's journey, part of the journeys of all those characters involved. So I'm not sure who she is when that voice is saying we must remind her, but I'm assuming it's the Queen. But yeah, I think that's that one really stuck on me. It didn't the imprint of that memory didn't lift. It's still there, and I find it really fascinating. So I just thought it would be cool to share. And yeah, I wanna give voice to my dreams a little more in this way. So if you're into that, stay tuned, because I'm gonna keep doing that. And my next video is going to be about dealing with pain in the float tank, and a bit of my story involving that. So if that at all interests you, then keep watching, and thank you so much for subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed, please feel free to do so. That would be amazing. And yeah, I'll try and keep the posting of these videos nice and consistent, and maybe like once or twice a week. Okay, so thank you, and I will see you all again soon.